Hello, friends. Welcome to the Facebook Live web series on the wisdom of Paramhansa Yogananda. Every Friday of the week, we share the wisdom of Yogananda on a variety of questions. And at the end of this session, you can post in your questions again, and we will try to take up the most frequently asked question in the next session next Friday. The question for today is, which is the higher path? The path of a householder or that of a brahmacharya? This is a very good question. Thank you for writing into us. And a question often asked. One or the other is not better or higher. Both are outward roles that we play to fulfill the dharma for which we come into our lives. The highest path is that of dharma. And what is dharma? Dharma is the duty that we come to fulfill in a lifetime. And that duty which helps us to realize our full potential, to make progress towards our own highest self. In the autobiography, we find that Mahavatar Babaji bestows the title of Swami on Sri Yukteswar even while he is married. Again, in the story of the Kriya initiation for Lahiri Mahashaya, we find that after Lahiri Mahashaya is initiated into Kriya, he implores Babaji to allow him to stay with Babaji and his band of disciples in the Himalayas. And Babaji tells Lahiri Mahashaya that you must return to the life in the crowded mats. There is a deep purpose behind which, there's a deep purpose that underlay the fact that you didn't meet me in this life until you were already married with a family and modest business responsibilities. And this is a very good point to tune into, friends, that a deep purpose underlays the rhythm of our lives, and it is important for us to tune in to that purpose. I want to share with you a story that I heard recently. A saint was looking at a few letters that he had received from one of his devotees. And he was inquiring into the nature of the responsibility and role that the person played. And on hearing it, he commented wisely, "It is wonderful that the person is playing out his karma through this outward role. But if it would be a great misfortune if someone without that karma would play that role, because it wouldn't help them to move forward." So whether a householder or a yogi, the outward roles are an opportunity for us to make progress, and by themselves are only important in that direction. But however, if we get attached to these roles in the playing of them, and we begin to dislike or like certain aspects out of attachment, that does come in the way of our progress. Sometimes a householder might say, "Oh, yogi is very lucky. He has very little responsibilities. He doesn't have a family. And so it's much more easier for him to live a spiritual life." This too is a common misconception, to think that a brahmachari has only to sit in meditation the whole day and not have to do anything else. Again, I'll quote an instance from the autobiography of a yogi, where Sri Yukteswar teases Yogananda, and I'll read it as an extract from the book. Sri Yukteswarji tells Yogananda, "How you will miss the companionship of a wife in your old age. Do you not agree that the family man engaged in useful work to maintain his wife and children play a rewarding role in God's eyes?" "Sir," Yogananda protested, "you know that my desire in this life is to espouse only the cosmic beloved." Yukteswarji laughed and said, "Remember that he who discards his worldly duties can justify himself only by assuming some kind of responsibility toward a much larger family. That in our quest for happiness in this world, an important aspect is to keep expanding our consciousness beyond ourselves, beyond our attachments toward this person or a family of 3 or 4, and growing in that consciousness to include a larger family by the day, by the year, by our experiences." So our dharma is uniquely our very own. It is that which we must do. If our dharma is that of a householder, it is important to fulfill that responsibility with joy and surrender to God. How can we live the life of a yogi householder, as many of these sages and saints have shown us? In God's eyes, it is a pure heart that receives favor. So it's important for us to tune into the lives of masters and how they fulfill their responsibilities despite being married, despite being responsible for businesses, for homes, for offices. Like in the autobiography of a yogi, I would invite all of us to tune into the life of Lahiri Mahashaya, to tune into the life of Sri Yukteswar, and understand how they balanced their responsibilities of a yogi householder, with that of a yogi. And in there, we will find the active principles for our own life. Yoga shows us the way. We might think we do not have enough time because of the many responsibilities that arise out of family commitments. A devotee once shared with Swami Kriyananda, Swamiji, I do not have any time to meditate because I am taking care of my child the whole day. She had a very small infant to take care of. And Swamiji gave her a very beautiful reply. He said, serve your little child as you would serve little Krishna. And there is a beautiful principle for all of us. This is a practice of bhakti yoga, where we see the divine in everything we do. Or the practice of karma yoga, where in all that we do, whether it is even looking after a business, we understand that through us it is the energy, the life of God that is flowing through us and serving our brothers and sisters in this world. Or the practice of jnana yoga, reflecting, introspecting. What is this life for? Who am I? Through these practices of yoga, through the practices of non-attachment, of contentment, of moderation in sensual pleasures, yoga shows us the way to live in this world. So remember, friends, our path is the path of dharma, and all outward roles that we perform in this life, let it be performed out of complete self-surrender to God. And in so doing, we make it holy, we make it spiritual, and we make progress. Joy to you. If there is any other question that you would like to know more about, please type into the comment section, and we will try to dedicate one of our episodes to that question. Thank you.